In the video put out on the previous Monday, we talked about a unique way to feel good, by using your guidance feelings to find out how you truly feel. As you will have experienced for yourself, if we correctly label our feelings, we naturally feel good. And if we keep repeating the same feeling to ourselves, that good feeling builds up, which not only lets us know that this is how we truly feel, but it can also make us feel just amazing. If you haven't yet seen the video showing you how to use your guidance feelings, then you can find it right here. I'm Gav, and this is I Want to Know How to Feel Good. In this video, we will carry on with learning what we can do to make even more positive changes to our emotional state, by learning more about how our feelings work, especially how our guidance feelings work. Starting with saying I feel versus saying I am. The feelings that we all experience have different levels of intensity. Our guidance feelings are well aware of this, and we're aware of this too. For example, when our anger becomes intense, we call it rage. When our fear becomes intense, we call it terror. And we don't say that I feel really good, we say that I feel great. But our guidance feelings don't recognise the intensity of our feelings in the same way that we do with our language. The way our guidance feelings change the intensity of a feeling, we must change from saying I feel to I am, but say the same feeling that we've been working with, as this will create more lightness. We could try jumping from saying I feel angry to I feel rage and begin repeating that, or try jumping from saying I feel fear to I feel terror, for example. But this isn't exactly how our emotions work, as though this is how we indicate that the intensity of our feelings has increased to each other. By changing the words that we use to describe them, the fact remains that anger and rage are different emotions, and fear and terror are different emotions, just like feeling good and feeling great are different and separate emotions too. When we use our guidance feelings to figure out how we truly feel, our aim is to squeeze out as much of that good feeling that the feeling that we're working with can create by repeating it to ourselves. As the more specific we are in our labelling, the greater chance we have of experiencing even stronger light feelings. Changing from saying I feel to I am may not mean much to us, but to our guidance feelings it makes a huge difference. Changing to I am is how our guidance feelings change the intensity of our feelings. Not from changing anger to rage like we do. Whether you begin to experience the light feeling begin to reduce and start to be replaced by the heavy feeling, try changing from I feel to I am, but say the same feeling that you've been working with, and see if you can squeeze even more of the light feelings out of this statement. Rise and fall of the light feeling. As you get to experience and know this method yourself, you will see that when you correctly label and repeat how you truly feel, your guidance feelings will respond by building up to such a high level of a good and light feeling that you don't really focus on the words that you're repeating to yourself, as you are just focusing on the light feelings that you experience. But there will come a time when the light feeling reaches its highest point and begins to reduce, and eventually turning into a heavy feeling from repeating that same statement. It's fair to say then that there clearly is a rise and fall of the light feeling. The highest point of the light feeling doesn't really need to be spoken about, but when the light feeling begins to reduce and you start to experience a bad or heavy feeling, what should you do at this point? Coming to an emotional change point. When the statement of how you feel reduces in lightness and begins to make you feel heavy or makes you feel bad in somewhere in your body, this new heaviness is now your measuring stick, and it's your comparison to the next statement that you say to yourself as you continue to focus on your center. When you say the next statement to yourself, you look at the heaviness that you're currently feeling to see if it changes when you say the next statement of how you feel. The meanings of the changes in your guidance feelings are exactly the same, and they will remain the same. No change in your feelings means that this isn't how you truly feel, so guess again. Experiencing more heaviness means this isn't how you truly feel, so guess again. And experiencing lightness means this is how you feel, so carry on repeating it. When you reach this point, it's like you stood at a crossroads of different options to try, as it's an emotional change point where you're about to discover the next statement to say that creates the light feeling again. The first option to always try is what we've just spoken about, saying and repeating I am in front of your feeling instead of I feel, to see if this creates more lightness. If it does create more lightness, then carry on repeating it until you reach the high point of the feeling and you begin to feel the heaviness come back again. And when that heaviness comes back, you're at the next emotional change point. But after you've said I am and you feel heaviness, what do you repeat at this emotional change point? The second thing to try, do you need to change the feeling that you are repeating to yourself? Our guidance feelings will let us know what we need to change at each emotional change point, by either making us feel lightness or making us feel heaviness. But we must guess what it is that we need to change until we experience those light feelings again. After saying I am, the second thing to try is changing the feeling that we repeat to ourselves. This is where instead of saying I am angry, you would say I am full of rage. And instead of saying I am scared, you would say I am terrified. And instead of saying I am sad, try repeating I am heartbroken and see if this creates any lightness. If you find any lightness when you change the actual feeling, then carry on repeating it as a statement and as you focus on your center until you squeeze out all of those light and good feelings and you find yourself at another emotional change point. Finding out why you feel a particular way, which is the third thing to try. At some point, you will naturally begin to wonder why you feel a particular way. It's important to not try and force yourself to wonder this, but there will come a time when you do begin to wonder why you feel the feelings that you are repeating to yourself, which will come to you around the time when you feel the heaviness when you say your statements of how you feel. At this emotional change point, you must keep working with the same feeling that you have been working with. So for example, if you started working with anger but now you're working with rage, then carry on working with the rage feeling. But you will reach a point where you naturally wonder who or what it is that you're full of rage about. Even though you don't feel any rage, instead you only feel light feelings. When you get to a point where you are feeling heaviness from repeating your statement, and when you're beginning to naturally wonder why you may have this particular feeling, you have reached another emotional change point. But since you aren't receiving any thoughts giving you answers to why you may feel this way, then you will have to just guess why you have this feeling. It's all about experimenting. For example, you repeat to yourself, I am full of rage at my partner, and you find that the feelings don't change, so guess again. So you try repeating, I'm full of rage at my neighbour a few times, and you actually feel heaviness, so guess again. So you try, I'm full of rage at having no money a few times. This creates heaviness again, so guess again. Then you try, I'm full of rage at my boss a few times, and bang, lots of lightness, so carry on repeating this statement. Though I'm only using examples here, you know exactly what you have going on in your life. So it shouldn't be too difficult to think of things to try to repeat to yourself to see if this creates a light feeling. What you will find though, is that you won't feel any lightness if you said, I felt angry because I was bullied when I was younger, or because my parents got a divorce while I was growing up, as examples, or anything specific from your past that still causes you pain. Your emotional self always begins with the present or from recent memories and events, and over the next few weeks of applying this method, your emotional self will lead you back to more specific aspects of your past to deal with those feelings. But it all starts with what's happening in your life right now. I'll end by saying that there is no pressure for you to get this right first time, as it's not like you're charting well-known and well-explored territory here. You are exploring your guidance feelings, which will be a completely new experience for you, and using them to explore feelings that lay under the surface of your conscious thoughts and feelings, which will also be new to you. It's all about trial and error. But now you know that when you make an error in labeling your feelings, that it feels bad, and that this only means that you're incorrect in your labeling, so guess again. This is just an experiment, but we're not experimenting on you here. You are experimenting with the statements that make you feel the good and light feeling. And in order to literally find those statements that make you feel lighter, you must also find the statements that make you feel the bad and heavy feelings too. We all think that we know exactly how we feel, when really, the majority of us are incorrect in our labeling. Hence, the majority of us feel bad on a daily basis. But give yourself permission to not take it to heart when you get it wrong at times. And on the other side of this coin, give yourself permission to feel good and feel great when you get it right and experience those good feelings. With that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.